In the days of Israel's deepest fear, when the people had turned from God and enemies covered the land like a swarm of locusts, there lived a young man named Gideon, a man who never expected to be chosen by God for anything great, not because he didn't love God, but because life had beaten courage out of him. For 7 years, the Midianites raided Israel. They stole crops, destroyed fields, burned homes, and left the people starving. Israel was so terrified that farmers harvested their grain in secret caves and winepresses, hiding like fugitives in their own land. And that is exactly where we first find Gideon, hiding inside a winepress threshing wheat in fear. His hands were shaking. His eyes constantly scanned the horizon. Every snap of a twig made his heart race. He was trying to provide for his family while avoiding the enemy. He wasn't a warrior, he wasn't confident, he wasn't bold, just a man trying to survive. But God has a habit of showing up in the places we least expect, and choosing people who feel the least qualified. Suddenly, in that dusty winepress, a presence appeared, bright, radiant, and overwhelming. The angel of the Lord sat under an oak tree and said words Gideon never thought he'd hear. "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon looked around, confused, almost offended. "Mighty warrior, me," he answered with trembling frustration. "If the Lord is with us, why has all this happened? Where are the miracles our ancestors told us about?" He wasn't doubting God's existence, he was doubting his presence. He was doubting his purpose. Then the angel spoke again, this time with authority that shook Gideon's soul. "Go in the strength you have, I am sending you." But Gideon quickly responded, "My clan is the weakest, and I am the least in my family." He gave God every reason to choose someone else, and God gave him one answer: "I will be with you." That night, Gideon tore down an idol that Israel had been worshipping. He did it afraid, but he did it because courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is moving anyway. Soon after, an army of 135,000 Midianites marched into the valley. Their campfires lit up the hills like stars. Israel was outnumbered beyond imagination. Gideon blew a trumpet and called the men of Israel to fight. 32,000 showed up, still far too few. But God told Gideon something unbelievable. "You have too many men, too many for a war where they were already outnumbered 4-1. But God wanted Israel to know the victory was his, not human strength. So Gideon announced, "Anyone who is afraid may go home." And 22,000 men left, only 10,000 remained. But again, God said, "Still too many." He instructed Gideon to take the men to the water to drink. Those who scooped water with their hands were chosen. Those who knelt to drink were dismissed. When it was over, Gideon was left with 300 men, 300 against 135,000. An impossible battle, but God specializes in the impossible. That night, Gideon crept into the enemy camp and overheard a soldier telling a dream. "A loaf of bread rolled into our camp and knocked down our tent." His companion replied, "That can only mean one thing: God has given Gideon victory." Gideon fell to his knees in shock and worship. He returned to his men and said the words he never believed he would. "Get up, the Lord has given us the victory." With only trumpets, torches, and clay jars, Gideon divided the 300 men into 3 groups and surrounded the vast Midianite camp in the dead of night. Then, at Gideon's signal, they blew their trumpets, smashed their jars, lifted their torches, and shouted, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon." Confusion erupted. The Midianites panicked. In the chaos, they turned their swords on each other. By morning, an unbeatable enemy had been defeated, not by strength, not by numbers, not by skill, but by God's power flowing through one man who doubted himself yet obeyed anyway. Gideon's story is a reminder that God does not choose the strongest. He does not choose the bravest. He does not choose the qualified. He chooses the willing. He chooses the overlooked. He chooses the insecure. He chooses the ones hiding in winepresses. He chooses the ones who whisper, "Lord, why me?" Because God sees what we cannot see. Where you see weakness, God sees a warrior. Where you see fear, God sees potential. Where you see lack, God sees destiny. And when God says, "I will be with you," that alone is enough to win any battle.